Hughesy, you legend. I hope you're well, mate. So this is your specific video, and you've got the motomatic clip. So it tells you two things. One, I'm like really amazed at how you started as a number nine for us a couple of weeks ago. I still think you and Harrison are very similar in the way that you play from a number nine or a number four. So the rotation of those is really is going to be really critical as we continue to go through our journey as a team. But having you two as those real as the low pivot and the high pivot, I think are transformational for this team. So well done, mate. Absolutely well done. Some of the clips that I'll go through today are one of them's about mentality, because I think what I need to help you with probably more than anything is about how you channel frustration and anger. And there's a clip in this that I want you to reflect on. And it's not you swearing, by the way, because I think that's another side that we need to help you and Harrison with, probably more so Harrison than you in that particular one. But there's a clip in this that I want you to take some time to reflect on, and how it looks from where me and you are sat, or from where your parents are sat, or where the spectators are sat. Because I don't want you being known for this. I want you being known for being that pain in the backside for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. So it's all about how you channel. And then there's some really good stuff in it, but then there's also those bits that I think you're ready for from a next part of your journey perspective. So we'll crack on with these, and there's loads of detail. So if you've got any questions, mate, just ask at training, ask when you're back from Barcelona. I hope you have a wonderful time, by the way. So first clip is about you dropping in, and this is really important for our play. So if you look at their defensive line and their midfield line, having you dropping in between those is really important, because your role now as the number nine is dropping in to receive, playing it back, getting it into the wide areas, and then you go and finish your dinner in the box, and get your shot away. So you're like the first step in our process of winning the ball high, then bringing everybody up with you. People running around you, so you dropping into this space creates a problem for the opposition, and there's going to be some clips in a moment about what problems you cause them. So playing it backwards, all I say here is don't rush it. So look at Max. So if we get it over to Max and then into Sam, we've got that picture for you then to go and finish. Now I think you're naturally going to want to play on your right foot. So this is why you play this pass here. So you can take an extra touch and get the switch on. And I get why you've tried Freddie Stevens, but the gap's so small there. So just have a think about how you can get the ball out for the switch. But we're fortunate here because the ball does come over. Freddie, there's that picture that we wanted. Freddie getting beyond you, and then David getting his shot away, which is fantastic. So first clip, mate, well done. Really good first clip. The second clip is this is the one that I want you to really think about in your play. So your mum's just messaged me telling me you're missing training tonight, so you can tell this is live footage. So this is a little bit about how you should be expecting this treatment, and I want you to take a step back and think about how you could have reacted. Now, I know what you were doing, but just think about what the referee could, or how the referee could interpret this. So I see this as a real testament that they need to put three players on you, not the other way around. I would see that as that's the type of player that I've become now, that they need to get three players on me. So one player's blocking you. Stay calm and learn from this. Learn that all they want to do is, the players in this picture, all they want to do is, stop you getting onto the ball. But But more importantly, you've got 3 players on you now. So that's going to be a continued theme through this. And how can you basically get the ball away from those 3 players into the wide areas. So really good receiving again there. And then can we... So yeah, let me just show you this. Sorry, I'm just getting more messages from players that aren't going to be at training tonight. So ball comes into you here. Now, what I want you to think about is how you can occupy this fullback. Because what happens is, this player here steps over Fred, okay, which you're running behind this man here to try and receive it into this gap. But Freddie can't make that pass because this player here blocks it. So if you can, if that ball into Fred is here, you can then occupy this player here and then run onto it. I think what you need to recognise is you're now in no man's land because this player's blocking. Yes, Freddie could have played that ball through quickly, but we're not focusing on Fred now. We're focusing on you. And then you come out of the game here. And then we lose it. So think about how you can use your body to get in between you and that striker. I mean, if I was you, I'd be backing into him all day long. So ball comes up. And there's that push from you. Push. Think about how you react. Ball comes in. If you come off this player here and you're using that same frustration that you've just used on that other player in that situation, just a little bit calmer though, and your shoulder, not your arm, your shoulder's in there, then I think you could go on and get a chance on goal here. So good, some detail there for you to think about. Love this blindside run. The opposition can't see you at all, so yes, you're offside, but look at this player here. This player's looking down, his shoulders are in the right position, but more importantly, you're in his blind side, so whatever you do, he can't see you. All I'll say to you is, you do not need to be that close to being in an offside position. All you need to do is, if anything, pretend you're coming into Fred and then go in with that double movement that I know you're so good at. But that's a class ball from Freddie, by the way. Absolutely mustard ball. I really like this rotation. So I said to you earlier that the 4 and the 9, in my opinion, are very similar roles. So H wins it. We're breaking their press. In and out. Inside. Now look at you dropping in to receive their first touch class as ever. Now Harrison goes on and you recognise that, so you drop off. And this is just really clever play from the pair of you, because you think about how you've invaded the opposition. This is exactly the type of cleverness that I want from you two. So you two are sort of toying with them to a degree. I said to you in this game about your distance between you and Harrison just needs to be maintained always the same. And I think this is a good example when actually you can be closer and switching around, but that core principle of being the same distance from Harrison is really key. Couldn't be prouder of you in here. We've come out of rotation weeks and we've not necessarily seen the outcomes that we wanted, but I think in those pictures we absolutely have got some really good pictures. What's next? So ball comes in, you drop in there, which is great. Ball played over to Sam, Max. What I really like about this one, I'll talk about the detail in a moment. So I think sometimes you can, and I know where this comes from, I think sometimes you want to do everything by yourself because you don't necessarily have the confidence in the players around you that I think you should. And that's that, you know, I don't want you thinking that that makes you sound arrogant, because it's not. I think you want to do everything yourself because I think that you can do it better than most, but everybody can still do a really good job for you. So just watch this back. And what I like about this is normally I think you chase that. I think you chase that ball yourself. So that's really good from you. Now look at your arrival time in the box. I think this is the moment you realise, wow, something's happening, and I can actually go and score here. And that movement there makes it. So that double movement just makes it. So let's just watch that back. So you've connected play, comes into H. We then go into the wide position. You're not rushing this. You're not rushing this. This makes me so proud, mate. Now, we're a bit lucky with Sam getting this. Oh, Beardsley getting this. And look at your double movement. Now you can run onto it. And everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. And I know we have a laugh and a joke about you not scoring as many goals as you probably should. There's two views to that. The first view, which is my view, is you make so many chances, so you're going to have more chances than anybody. The hardest bit for me is to coach you all the bits to make chances. The easiest bit is putting the cherry on top of the cake and for you scoring the goals. I can do that. We can do that. The only thing that's stopping us doing that is time. Now we've got the light nights, we can absolutely do this. And focusing on that on that finishing, you know, putting that cherry on the cake, shall we say. So really, really good picture there, mate. I think, you know, real proud coach of all those bits there that you've picked up on. Really like the press. You lock them in, you make it predictable, and then we're able to win the ball back through Sam there. Yeah, and then you get a shot away again. That's that using your body that you're so good at. You step over this player here. Watch, you step over him. You use your high shoulder, and that's what I want you to be using all of that energy and that frustration for, is using your body in those situations, because you don't need that other stuff. You really don't. This next one is so Davey gets in there. Where are you? You're left. So yeah, it's lack of. I think there's lack of movement here. So if I think about, if Dave is in this position, I want you occupying this bloke here. So I know why you're out wide. I haven't seen what happened beforehand, so apologies. Well, I have seen it, but I've watched a 1,000,001 clips here. So I want you occupying this guy here. And that double movement here would take him into there, and then you pulling out. Okay, so that would be my play on this. Instead, what happens is that we're having to find a ball through 2 or 3 players. Now, your positioning's great because you're not marked, but I think that's a Sam job if we were really critical. That's a Sam job to do that as the wide player. Oh, the next bit, I'm not finished. So we're really flat here, and I like your run here because what you're doing is you're making this space for Fred. So watch your movement here and how it impacts these defenders around you. So don't underestimate that movement. We're all in a straight line, which is fine for you. Sam should be deeper. Freddie's ready to receive. And then we just got to get a better execution on that ball in. All right, so another good phase for you. So you drop in to receive. Slightly different. You're finding the channel well. I think Freddie should be higher here because the ball is there into Freddie there, so you stay on it. And then we try that through ball, which is absolutely fine, mate. And I love how you let Davey press here and then you're covering Davey. We'll be getting high here. And then you're occupying exactly where I think you should. If I was to put a bit of detail in here, I'd be the other side of this player. And the reason for that is that you can then you can then make him nervous with your double movements. Unlucky. What have we got here? Yeah, so again, just sometimes you have to take one for the team, and I think you do this. You do this so well. So look how you're taking that player away. You made him drop. So just look at where he was occupying beforehand. So he's occupying in line pretty much with the centre of the pitch, penalty spot, kick-off spot, etc. And then by the time you've finished with him, look how displaced he is. He's in line, he's in the half space, so he's outside of the 6-yard box, he's that far out. So Jamie Banner gets a really good ball in here. I think he should take a more positive first touch, and then he scores. But a really good chance for us in that central area. Beardsley with the rotation, play it back into H. You then come alive to receive. Can you find your gap? So I really like this, mate. I think there's just a couple of pieces of detail in this for me. So, right, first one. If I put let me see if I can do it on this. Right, so watch your movement on this. This should track your movement on this screen here. Zoom in on that. Oh, no, it doesn't. So just look at how you curved your run. So not once did you touch the ball until that final zone. Okay, so that movement is just fantastic. Watch how you come into this space, you're in that gap. Now you've occupied a different centre half. Now, just a little bit of detail here. I think if you stand tall and use the outside of your foot here, that ball goes into Jamie. You use your left foot, ironically, and it's a poor pass. But that's me being picky, right? Really good movement in and around the box, mate. I just want you to watch this, because I think this is what I'm talking about with you two now. Again, just that final piece is missing, but it's the easy one for me to fix. This is the hardest thing for me to do to help a footballer. Is how do you coach this? How do you coach that stuff? That's the hard bit. This bit's the easy bit. The way to the pass, the detail in the shot. So well done, mate. Love that. My final clip is swatch you at the top of the screen. So you're now occupying a different channel. Scanning. I reckon if Max breaks the line there, you've got another option here. So just real tenacity, mate, and that's why that's where you should be utilising all of that power and frustration into those areas. So what I reflected on during this game is, if you look back at the yellow card that you received, we actually continued to play some all right football, but I know if you were on the pitch, we probably would have scored 2 or 3 more. All right. And that's that level that I want you to be thinking about now, is not to get drawn into the silliness of what is happening with football now at this age group, where you've just got 2 or 3 players on the pitch that are just there to wind you up. And the same with Harrison. So let's not let them do that to you. Listen to us as coaches, as parents on the sideline as well, that are really there to help support you and calm you down. The last thing that we want is for you to get a yellow card and then you're off the pitch. Next season there'll be 2 different types of yellow cards in my eyes. There'll be the ones where you make a tackle, a football related incident that causes a yellow card. And then there'll be the silly things, like the stuff that I don't like, talking back to the referee, swearing on the football pitch, and kicking the ball away. All of those signs of dissent, we're going to be making the players pay for those fines themselves. So, 2 different things, football related ones and the silliness that we need to learn how to deal with. I think there's only going to be probably 2 or 3 players that are going to need help with that, and you being one, me being another, and Harrison probably being another one. So, we're all in